Now, this is the part in the zombie movie. It looks all peaceful and quiet, and then something jumps out, and a jump scare. It's like, ah, but it's just a jump scare. It's like, yeah. So it's just like a stupid jump scare. Like there's a dog or something rummaging in the trash, or a raccoon, even better. It's like, it's like, oh, it's a raccoon. It's Sunday. Yeah. Let's see. Technically day 8. Let's see. Yeah. So, last Sunday the church was closed. This Sunday the church will also be closed. You can find all your stuff online. I haven't looked at the online stuff. I've been doing nothing but Transformer movies for the past 7 days. Well, 5 of those days. So yeah. Opportunity to complete Corrosion of War, that end. I suppose the, well, it isn't complete. It's another episode. If this keeps up, I will complete it. Yeah, it'll be done. And the greatest Transformers Trans-Tech miniseries ever. And it's a script from Rob Powers, whoever that is. Somebody from the Transformers Alt Mush years ago. Anyway, so, yeah. Yeah, and it looks all blaring back there. For some reason, the camera has kicked into blaring for some reason. It's not that bright back there. I don't know when it did that. It's odd. Because, yeah, it's not that bright back there. This is the day 8 of the... There was a guy and his kid walking by, so can't film any children. This is not for children. So, yeah. Anyway. As part of the COPPA Act. Yeah. There were just a bunch of cars, and now there aren't. Now going back this way. Here. And there's just a bunch of cars. And now there aren't. Nothing unusual, though, about that. Usually within the... Yeah. A lot less traffic out here. So, yeah, that's day 8. Cause yeah, we don't want to go out there too much. Just going to Lucky to get some fish. Yeah, how's that? So going in now. So there was a talk of the tabloids at the counter, but that I brought up, so it doesn't matter. One of the tabloids are being mean to the princess, Meghan Markle. So I was like, why can't they go back to the 90s when X-Files was on, so they'd have like weird tabloids about lady gives birth to alien with a doll with light up eyes, like sitting in her like cradling it. So, March 24th. Jump scare. Mark's cards informed you that ancient alien space bunnies should be present. I doubt it, but that would be cool. Space bunnies. Space bunnies gonna go rampant while no one's around. Except for that lady way over there with a baby carriage. Man, in the distance. Way the fuck over there. Yeah, dropped an F-bomb. Excellent. My hair's all fuzzy. Futurama hair. Yeah. Anyways. Uh-oh. Someone's running that way. And there's an alarm going off. Oh no! Actually, I don't think anybody in Milpitas actually has COVID-19. But everybody's freaking out. Yeah, so, anyway. It was probably originally intended as a conservative plot to make the liberals look bad, so that they bungled it in order to So they bungled it in order to blame the liberals, but it got out of hand. It was just supposed to be a gag or a prank by the Republicans. Didn't work, and now it's all over New York, more so than it is in China. Now they should rename it the New York virus. Yeah. But here in California, I don't know, hundreds of people, I don't know, have, yeah, so I guess the sanctuary city is doing it right. Sanctuary city. So, yeah, I haven't heard anything from San Francisco. Yeah, so, anyway. Yeah, it's pretty vacant out here. There's that lady with the baby carriage. Yes, I will attempt to elaborate on my, as I'm walking here toward Lucky and Lucky only, that what I was getting at was there already was a virus. They didn't cause it. What the conservatives did was they were politicizing it to blame someone else for the CDC's ineptitude originally. Yeah, they're going to blame somebody else, even though they're the ones that closed part of the CDC and defunded it in the beginning of the Trump administration. Fortunately, the states ignored him and didn't defund it, just kind of funded the money somewhere else. So, yeah, mainly in other states other than where they are. So, although his approval ratings have gone up for no reason other than him getting around. Although the irony is that he's probably getting the same rally numbers as he normally got before, but now the actors just aren't there that are standing in behind him. So yeah, so that's what's going on. So it isn't that so it's that he's just yeah, they're all politicizing it, both sides. The other side is politicizing the other part of it. So like, yeah, it's still Monday. I thought I would film this wreckage of these trees over here. So yeah, it's the wreckage of the trees, and there's some more wreckage. Apparently they've been trimming them. So they've roped off the exercise stuff because they don't want anybody on it. I don't care if you're roped off that part over there a bit too. So I'm gaining copious amounts of pounds from not getting enough exercise. I've decided that today, on Monday, that I go for a walk again, because otherwise I'm going to gain 5 or 6 pounds just being indoors. And that would be hideous after a while. I cannot do that. But anyway, the gist of the annoying faux news stuff today, or what little bit of it I saw, because I didn't want to see it. I wanted to do trans tech corrosion instead. Editing together episode 2 for release on Wednesday. So yeah, so it's coming out. And yeah, so they were seeing partisan bickering and stuff, but technically it's over a stimulus package which would not help the underemployed or poor. It only still helps the rich and the upper middle class. That's not going to work. That's why they're bickering about it, because it does not help the poor. If you want to actually, well, they're not going to, but if they want to actually truly, the poor and the under middle class, they need to give them more than the middle class. Say, okay, we're not just going to give them $1,000, we're going to give the poor $2,000. But they won't do that, because that would actually make sense economically, but they're not going to do that. Nor will they actually get the $1,000. They won't get it. No, only the super rich will get it. So there you go. If you believe. Tuesday. It's Tuesday and there's workmen in the park. Probably because the quarantine. Yeah, they're making them work. Something. So you see, yes, I think the initial plan by the evil money grubbers in the government was to use this as an excuse to close the borders, become more insulated, and close off the American people and desensitize them. So it was an excuse, not just by both sides. Well, mainly the GOP, mainly Fox, to close off everything so that we didn't notice like crazy stuff happening. The stock market fluctuating ridiculously, up and down and up and down, and that's because they artificially inflated it still. I bet the stock and other supplies is probably really bad. So yeah, that's what they're up to. They need to, well, it's just that they, don't go out to spring break and party. Don't do that, because spread it. But also, oh, man. They're clearly closing it off because they want. I noticed that they clearly, and it doesn't seem like anybody in the White House actually has it. It's odd. I think maybe one or two people have it. And I noticed that they keep the Ancient Aliens people employed at History Channel and force them to work because and also at Fox and CNN. At least NBC is actually doing Skyping more than Fox is. They're in the studio. It's weird. They're being irresponsible having them all in the studio, where they could totally be spreading it everywhere. New York has more cases than it's a good thing we're not in New York. In the Big Apple, they say, yeah. But that kind of makes sense, it's like, because in the Big Apple, you don't really get in a car too much. You bike around or you walk everywhere. Or you get on the bus or on a car, on a subway, and usually that's like packed in like sardines. If they can figure out in a capitalist society a way to exploit some lockdown, they will figure out a way to exploit it. But it's not cool, so don't do that. There's a produce truck that has come down the wrong tube over there, and he's stuck on Clear Lake's ridiculous paranoid NIMBY crossover thing from the late 90s. They built the paranoid NIMBY thing, NIMBYs are not in my backyard, because the people on the edge of that curve over there didn't like teenagers cruising down the street really fast on their skateboards. That's the only reason they put that there. That street blocked off. There's a license plate. That's the only reason that the neighborhood complained. It does not need to be blocked off. There's no physical boundary reason that road should be blocked off. They just did it because paranoid locals that probably don't live there. You probably don't live there anymore. Now we got the necessity stores open here on Tuesday. But over there, the Togos and all that stuff, and that's not open because small businesses can't be open and be serving restaurants and stuff. Yeah, so it's like that's the people that are hurting the most because they aren't getting any money. They ain't serving anybody. Yeah, so the small businesses, and of course the very poor that can't get to those places either, the kitchens and stuff, they also would be extremely in need of government assistance, which the GOP doesn't like because they don't want to give people government assistance. They want to even cut Social Security down because they're jerks over there in the House and the Senate. So they want to get all that, and so this gives them an excuse to do mean things. So, we are on the enormous park set of the, it's not a set really, but it's the enormous area where we filmed it, where we do all of the movies and parks and stuff. It's kind of cold out here, and it's really nippy. It's cold out here. Anyway, so yeah, well, I will talk about it more indoors when it's not as cold, but out here it is chilly. I'm not sure of the point of walking out here to the mail would actually be. But so they've been working in the park here. There's parks all around here. It's called Park Town. They have those parks and they go all the way around, and a lot of them were used in the Mousetrap Project movie, 1999. Okay, so I will close this walk down Park Lane here just because it's kind of hard to do both, you know. Yeah, you're a guy ran by with that shirt on. He must have good metabolism. Yeah. Anyway, so. Well, he had a shirt on, but he didn't have a jacket on. Like a muscle shirt. Anyway, so so that's it. Yeah, for now. And I'll have to find this piece of the tape and review it for the, because it's still Tuesday, it's technically. So yeah, Day 3. Day 8. Day what? The 8. Wednesday? To 20. Yeah, Wednesday. 20. I'm just walking down the road. Nothing new except some people have died as the result of Trump saying, "Oh, take the malaria medicine," because people are stupid. Listen to him. I shouldn't have. I shouldn't listen to him. Probably a Trump supporter. Unfortunately, that goes with the Darwin Awards right there. It's like, yeah, don't listen to that guy. He's just making up shit. So anyway, I was walking along. Same kind of people, anti-vaxxers. So she got a hold of something, apparently died. It's fucked up. So yeah. I don't know whether there were other cases, but there was the one person. They did not report on Fox. Also, apparently he doesn't know what he's talking about. You can't use that. It would be like just taking random shit to like cure something. It doesn't work that way. Anyway, so I'm walking along. Also, think about the stores and the shops. All of the work, stuff that people and the products can't be moved. All the shipping stuff that isn't being done. All the insular. They knew about the virus outbreak way back in January and ignored it for several months. So yeah. Now it's all over New York, apparently. It's over here. Let's see. We have some cool things in the Thursday. Had a strange dream last night. It was real peculiar. And in my strange dream, it was a future. It was the future, after which point, like, the disaster of spring break 2020, when they let everyone out of the quarantine early, caused them to have to do drastic measures in order to in order to curb the virus. So they started making shit up in the government. And apparently, well, they're already making shit up now, but it was like increasingly paranoid and worse because like I wasn't on nothing. And like, strangely enough, and oddly enough, they started using malathion spray from back in the 90s because they thought there were bugs, like literally bugs. And it's not that kind of bugs, but Trump administration are idiots. And so they were like, okay, we'll just have to spray the malathion everywhere on the people, the spring break, and then it'll be survival of the fittest, like I said earlier. And it'll be like, okay, but that would actually, then they get a bunch of other chemicals, and they get rid of, which is ridiculous because it's Dream. They get all our stuff out. Apparently the old guy in Dream, he had a wife and kid that died after the plague, so he got married after the plague. Somebody that was still like normal, moderately so, but they died, and he was stuck recalling that that they had an Easter pageant thing that they started up again that infected everybody, kind of like an Armageddon, kind of like a not like an apocalypse, but Armageddon, the Valley of Gidon from the Bible. A revelation. So in the Revelation, it's more like that. And they had the plague, but it infected everybody. But he was one of the people that like wasn't. So he survived and lived to be old. And his friend, this could be pseudo Mark Spencer. It could be John. He lives to be. We all live to be old, but we're in a world where everybody is reduced to the mental level and capacity of Donald Trump. And lower. And everybody's walking around going, because they're all retarded. The entire planet becomes like mentally deficient. And mentally special. And after the planet becomes completely special, it's nuts. Allowing, of course, people like Cat and Cards, who had the original bug spray years ago in Milpius, they're kind of immune because they already had it. So they're just walking around and they're all like, okay, yeah, this would be the ultimate like weird. It's not really a revenge fantasy because it's not revenge. It's sort of they get what they want fantasy, because they do get what they want. They get the entire planet in the story, except then technology stops, and the economy stops, and everything else stops, because they don't know how to run anything. And even though the people that are left over, if the very old die, and then the very old all die, and then the very young all die. It's bizarre. And then it's a strange dream. And because the ones that were indoors, they were saved as well because they were indoors. So it's not a nuclear holocaust like in those 80s movies. It's more like eugenics. Untested eugenics cures sprayed out on the people. Here's the church. It's not open. So the message of said dream is for the people is don't go outside even if Trump tells you to. Stay indoors until the plague is over. Because that's a good idea. You can make little sojourns out here, though, I guess. But don't go to the beach and party. So that's the message of the dream. Because you'll end up, like, becoming dumb. It's a Holocaust. The Holocaust. And then, And I doubt that that's their actual plan, because that would be really strange. It'd be like an 80s villain, like... It'd be like kind of strange. That dream, I think about it, because like if they did that, I think people would stop them before they got too bad. Before millions, that would be. You would think that deregulation wouldn't do. They wouldn't be that stupid, maybe. But don't do ridiculous, dumb things, and do things like that. Yeah, so that's the message: is don't do dumb things, and then you'll survive. It's like earlier on when I said about not really. It's sort of the pseudo Darwin, because it's not really Darwin. It's not really survival of the fittest. It's really just it's not really that. The dream was more like about a warning. It was a prophecy. Yeah, it's like because the most as ancient wise men that said disasters can come more from within than without. The Roman Empire was destroyed by from within by lead and other things they were consuming, and So yeah, this isn't the Roman Empire though. At this point, Putin has won and has made America dumb again. But we can get smarter again. We can elect someone else to be the president. So that might be a good idea. So go out and vote. Don't be like in the dream and have the old guys run around. Didn't do anything. Don't do that. So yeah. And this will probably get flagged off YouTube because, ooh, it's talking about COVID-19. Oh, sort of, kind of. Anyway, so yeah. Day 10? Yes, I don't know. Friday? Yeah. Yeah. So, this is the Safeway parking lot. It's day 10. I think day 10 or 11. Or 12. No, it's week 2. End of week 2. So we have, the CDC government people stepping in and saying that don't listen to Trump saying, well, it's just going to end right now because I need to get reelected in 6 months. So, just going to stop the virus. Oh. And they're like, no, don't do that. Meanwhile, New York is the hardest hit, and there's more coronavirus people in New York than in China right now. Anyway, so yeah, but this is California. That's pretty much it out here. There are people out here, but they are probably the neocons. So, I was in Safeway earlier today, and I had more fur on. People assumed I was some homeless crazy vagabond, and we're all vagrant, and we're all like being rude. Half the place is all being rude. Even the fish delivery guy, being rude. The fish butcher. Well, the butcher, you expect him to be rude, but yeah, the fish guy, the fish butcher. So yeah, it's a Safeway. Normally the Safeway isn't the Safeway. It's not the Safeway at all, with all ammunition, and there was a 6 feet line and all that stuff. Yeah. With rude people going in and out. And no direction. There was nobody directing traffic was the problem. Also there was, no toilet paper again. But we have some before, so yeah. It's odd. So yeah, it's weird. Anyway, so yeah. And this is later in the day, on Friday, same day. Yeah, so. Okay, it is Saturday. It is. I have shaved again, and this is the end of the vlog for the week of the stay indoors order thingy for the week. Anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna go in the car because it's raining. Yeah, so I am in the car, and yeah, so that closes out that. I wonder if the 2 weeks here have been. I wonder if the greenhouse gas emissions have gone down in the country, but the people with the virus continues to rise, And Trump continues to selfishly think that he's going to lose the election and it's all the liberals' fault that there's a virus. That's what he said. So we'll go by what he said. So, yeah, that doesn't make any sense. But if anything, the Republicans are basically kind of at fault because they didn't do anything about it in January. So, yeah, it's not the liberals. It's not technically the conservatives either, although kinda. They did strip the CDC of its funding before. You would think it's a conspiracy of them, not the other guy. But yeah. So yeah, you'd think like they're saying the liberals did it somehow with their magic evil powers that they couldn't have done somehow. And then there's a stimulus package, but it doesn't actually give money to the poor and the lower income. And they were complaining. There were 4 Republicans complaining that the stimulus would encourage unemployment and people to like something about $24 an hour. Health workers will stop working for like a paycheck. That doesn't make any sense. That economically makes no sense at all. I would never be in politics, but if I was, I would raise the minimum wage to $15 an hour, and temporarily, and even 20 in some places, depending on the city. But they're not going to do that. And I would say, like, well, it's $20. It should be $20 an hour around here, or in New York, or in Los Angeles, because of the high standard of living. You can't get an apartment on minimum wage around here at all. It's not possible. Or in New York, or in places like that, L.A., Houston, Dallas, places like that. Washington, D.C., either. You'd end up in a skanky apartment on the border. So, yeah, and New York has the epicenter of the virus currently, or the highest epicenter of the virus. Epicenter means the center of. It's a little misleading. It's the highest number of the virus. San Francisco is not doesn't have it as much because we were smart and we stayed indoors. Yeah, because sanctuary city. Yeah. In 2020, in November, don't vote for Trump. Vote for anyone other than Trump, if you can. Yeah, because he's made a mess of everything. Yes. Or you can do whatever you want, but don't vote for Trump. I was watching up on them trying to do that bill in the Senate. Apparently, the provision is to give the senators a bunch of money and not give the poor anything because they'll just keep it and not work. Their motivation is weird in that well, they're rich, super rich, and they want to keep the money. Yeah, that makes sense. But for them. But they're Scrooges, they're greedy Scrooges, and they're like if people don't want to work and they want to be on unemployment, it's capitalism, so let it happen. Yeah, it's like, why would that do anything to the economy? That those alleged few people that are on unemployment, well, that they can still be on unemployment. What's wrong with that? Nothing wrong with that. But they treat it like, oh my gosh, no, they all have to be employed in the super uber workforce. The best, and give and spend all their money on and barely get by because yes, so we can get our mansions and yachts and things that they're never gonna see. Yeah, so that's their motivation. They just want to take more money instead of giving it away. You would think that somebody like that, one of them is Lindsey Graham. You would think that some of these hyper evangelicals would be like, oh, give to the poor? Gee, isn't that what Christ would do? Yes. Come on. Give the poor what they need to have to survive. There's an idea. There's a concept. Yes. But no. They're just going to be slackers. Those uppity slackers. They're going to be slackers. Like, come on, guys. Really?